Let us stop vandals before they destroy our collective national heritage, so we can have the Nigeria of our dreams, where there will be light at all times. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA.
Weekend Deal, 6:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. every Saturday and Sunday. Africa's biggest deal. Weekend Deal.
You are watching NTA, Nigerian Television Authority.
As Gambian President Adama Barrow is set to constitute cabinet, Chief Justice resigns. Made in Nigeria products gets another boost. Acting President Yemi Oshibajo kicks off small and medium enterprises clinic in Aba. Federal Mortgage Bank announces operating surplus of 2.7 billion naira for 2016. African nationals sustain a position for withdrawal of the continent from membership of International Criminal Justice Court of Justice as 28th African Union Summit is set to begin. A very good evening and thanks for joining us on the NTA Network News for tonight. I am Fumi Wakama. President Adama Barrow, who is now back in Banjul, the Gambian capital, is expected to name his cabinet soon. A report from Banjul says Nigeria's image is soaring high as the Chief Justice of the country, Emmanuel Fagbenle, has resigned. Makut Simon Macham captured the arrival.
During the 22-year rule of President Yahya Jammeh, many Gambians lived in fear and could not freely express themselves nor criticize the government. But the election of Adama Barrow seems to have put this dark picture behind them as they can grant interviews and freely speak without watching their backs.
Everyone can speak about your right, how the disadvantages and advantages about our country.
Because before, it's like, when you want to talk, I don't know you, I can't talk about the former president. When I talk something there, I will just look my back. When I don't know you, I can't discuss with you about his affairs.
Many of them acknowledge the sacrifices of Nigeria and other ECOWAS countries in ensuring that the political logjam ends peacefully and decisively.
I'm thanking the ECOWAS members and the presidents, especially Buhari, who's a giant, because they did every possibility. They talk with Jammeh peacefully so that they can solve the situation.
Head of mission at the Nigerian Embassy in Banjul, Mansour Abdulkarim Nwambila, and some Nigerians living in the Gambia say their image has been greatly boosted by Nigeria's leadership role in the resolution of the crisis.
I managed to meander among this crowd of thousands of Gambians jubilating because of the return of their cherished leader. And wherever they saw Nigerian flag, they were hailing, they were jumping, some were hugging me.
And we are very proud that Nigerians, at the end of the day, we have been exonerated of any blames like the way it was turning around initially, that the judiciary was being corrupted and being, by Nigerians. Thank God, at the end of the day, it's the same Nigeria at last that saved the situation.
Analysts hope that Nigeria's business community will take advantage of such goodwill to make inroads into a business environment they have already made huge statement in. From Banjul in the Gambia, Makut Simon Macham, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the peaceful return of the Gambian president, Adama Barrow, to Banjul without show of force has been described as a mission accomplished. Former Nigerian ambassador to Guinea-Bissau, Godwin Agama, expressed this view on NTA's program, Good Morning Nigeria. Saliu Abdullahi has the report.
The former ambassador said it is now time for the Gambian president, Adama Barrow, to prove his worth, not only to the people of Gambia, but the entire world that ensured he got his mandate. He said the priority areas of the president should be on security, establishing human rights protection institutions, and creating the right environment to restore investors' confidence for business to thrive should be given adequate attention as he settles down for the business of governance.
Jammeh, while he was in power, ruled with iron hand. Respect for human rights wasn't there. Press freedom was not allowed. Dissent wasn't tolerated. And this needs to be addressed. There's this agency called the NIA, National Intelligence Agency, where a lot of people who they didn't agree with were detained without trial. Barrow has to take care of that and also has to reconcile the community.
Ambassador Agama said the latest event in the Gambia is a lesson for other sit-tight African leaders.
If, for instance, or some other bigger country with a well-established armed forces and that can defend itself, it could still happen, but with a lot of bloodshed.
He added that Adama Barrow has the opportunity to make a mark by consolidating on the gains of the past government. However, NTA's correspondent Makut Samo Machan, who has been in Banjul monitoring developments, said Gambians are happy to see their president back home. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
And elsewhere, some African countries are sustaining their position for the continent to withdraw membership from the International Court of Justice. Though a decision is yet to be arrived at, horse trading is on for the issue to form part of agenda for deliberation at the 28th African Union Summit in Addis Ababa. Correspondent Omeni Oden has that report.
Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyama, gives an insight to the development.
Each country acceded individually, exercising its sovereign rights. So each country, if they want to withdraw, they have the freedom to do so individually. So those who want to withdraw should withdraw. So that is, like one of the issues. But Nigeria is within it, and our position is that if we feel there are problems with the treaty, from within, you amend the treaty.
Senegal, Cape Verde, among other African countries, were strongly against it. Following this, a committee was set up by the Executive Council to elaborate on a strategy for a collective withdrawal from the International Court of Justice by the African Union. But the big question is, will this suffice?
The issue was that the African Union, which is not a party, should not be having, developing a strategy for a collective withdrawal for something that each country exercising its sovereignty entered into individually. But those who want to withdraw should withdraw. So that is, like one of the issues. But Nigeria is within it, and our position is that if we feel there are problems with the treaty, from within, you amend the treaty.
Besides Agenda 2063, which aligns with the Sustainable Development Goals, and youth entrepreneurship in Africa, which will give the youths a wider space in startups and job creation, other areas that will take center stage at the 28th ordinary session of heads of state and government of the African Union will be developments in the Gambia, Southern Sudan, global security issues, and ultimately an election from Addis Ababa. Omeni Oden, NTA News.
And back home, acting President Yemi Oshibajo says restoring normalcy to internally displaced persons in the Northeast remains a firm commitment of the federal government. He said this during a visit by the Executive Director of the United Nations World Food Programme in Abuja. State House correspondent Gideon Ifade has that report.
Acting President Yemi Osinbajo told the delegation that the federal government is also working on how to help the children, especially regarding education and housing. While appreciating the collaboration of international agencies like the United Nations in the effort, he said the federal government will continue to secure the places where peace had been restored, stressing that the dealing with the security challenges is an ongoing task for the federal government. Leader of the delegation, Ethering Cousin, commends the federal government for the support World Food Programme is enjoying in Nigeria.
Because they believe that we are providing value, and to help us with other international donors to ensure that we receive the resources that are necessary. Because we're voluntarily funded, if the resources do not come, our desire alone is not enough.
She said since the establishment of a federal government interministerial committee, which the acting president coordinated, there has been a significant improvement in the implementation of the UN agency's work, providing assistance in the Northeast. In the State House, Jide.
In another development, Acting President Yemi Osinbajo says the federal government considers micro, small and medium enterprises as bedrock of the nation's economy and will therefore give the sector necessary support for growth. He said this at the kickoff of the nationwide Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Clinic in Abia State. Again, Gideon Ifade on the entourage of the acting president now reports.
The acting president, who was given a rousing welcome in Aba, told delegates to the clinics made up of SME operators that the Buhari administration, upon the recognition of the sector as critical to economic recovery, would pay utmost attention to manufacturers for continuously providing for the needs of the people. Acting President Osinbajo visits the stand of the relevant agencies, asking such questions as to what complaints they have received and what solutions preferred for the challenges. While appreciating the various made in Aba products on display at the golf field venue of the event, Acting President Osinbajo says it is a known fact that Aba remains an SME hub in the country to be proud of.
We want to encourage all of those who are in manufacturing and industry that we want to be very hands-on on this. We want to go with you, whatever it takes to be able to get you to do your business well and to become major competitors worldwide. That's exactly what we intend to do. And that's why we're going round. We're making sure that we understand what the problems are, so we're able to address all of those problems.
The acting president further reiterates this at a luncheon by the state governor, Okezie Ekweazu.
But we need to keep our focus. As with everything in Nigeria, we know how to start well. Our problem really is how to finish well. But I want to say that by the grace of God, we will do this well and we'll finish it well.
On our part as government, we are going to do everything to see that we speak to these individuals and those that could not make it to this event today, one after another, and attend to their needs. That is why.
Because when you have the quality inbuilt in your product, you will have the share of the market.
We must be very happy, and we must thank the government of the Abia State government, and we must thank the office of the Vice President, who thinking very deep in providing this platform for the macro businesses to shine.
Umteke needs help, and the help is right here at his doorstep. From Aba to the NTA News.
The House of Representatives Ad hoc Committee on Development Finance Institutions has demanded that the Nigerian Export-Import Bank, NEXIM, should submit the list of all beneficiaries of its 113 billion naira export grant to facilitate investigations. This request came after the acting managing director of NEXIM Bank, Bashir Wali, presented a scorecard of the bank to the Ad hoc Committee.
The public hearing is in continuation of the House of Representatives investigation on the activities of federal government-owned development finance institutions. The committee's interest in Exim Bank underscores the strategic role the financial institution plays in the development of external sector of the Nigerian economy. Acting Managing Director of the bank gave the ad hoc committee details of major activities of his organization.
Disbursement, the bank has disbursed about 113 billion in support of the oil export sector, thereby facilitating the creation and sustenance of over 65,772 direct jobs.
Chairman Ad hoc Committee on Development Finance Institutions, Representative Emeka Anoho, explained why the institution must ensure transparency in its operations.
Primarily set up to bridge the financing gap around economic development with a view to increasing the availability of funds for micro, small, and medium enterprises.
The bank is to appear again before the ad hoc committee at a later date when the documents requested must have been made available. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Kogi State stakeholders of the All Progressive Congress APC are calling on the state government to effectively utilize the Paris Club Debt Relief Fund in the settlement of salaries, pension arrears of civil servants and pensioners on its payroll. Political correspondent Abdullahi Garba Kudu has the details.
It was a gathering of all who matter in the All Progressives Congress from Kogi State who converged on Abuja to give their input to the governor as he clocked 1 year in office. Senator Dino Melai, representing Kogi West as spokesperson for the group, highlighted payment of salaries and pension entitlements as well as security as major areas that should receive priority attention from the state government.
We have tried within our best. Vigilante groups in our various communities are doing their best, but we also need the political support of the state administration. Government must invest appropriately in the security of the state.
They have to pay the pensioners, pay teachers, and pay the civil servants. So that is our position.
The stakeholders call on the governor as a party leader to work towards promoting internet democracy in the party in power, the APC, as well as peace as veritable platform for development. In Abuja, Abdullahi Garba Kudu, NTA News.
And the House Chairman Committee on Diaspora, Rita Orji, has urged the federal government to concentrate more on using treaties to stop the killings of Nigerians living abroad. She stated this while addressing National Assembly correspondents. Ifeanyi Ezumba was there.
Chairman of the committee, who stressed that no suspects have ever been brought to book, emphasized on looking at ways to end the killings.
Set up the modality to bring to book those countries that did that. What have you done with them? Diplomatically, you can engage them and know why. But if nothing is done, you keep reacting. I don't think that reaction is what Nigerians need.
The committee has also taken steps to engage with the executive, whose primary responsibility is to protect lives and properties of Nigerians wherever they reside.
In another development, the Senate Committee on Aviation met with some agencies in the aviation industry and airlines to chart a way forward. Senator Bala Ibn Naala said it is time the industry keys into the concept of global best practices of the International Civil Aviation Standard.
If we want to take the decision to save the industry for the future of our country, it's our own decision. I cannot understand why the entire cost of putting the Dulles Airport control tower with all the machineries and everything, the cost of putting the Abuja tower is almost 2 times. What is the problem? Something is wrong somewhere.
Most of the money includes rehabilitation of collapsed portions and the filling of notorious potholes along the road. So far, the project is put at about 50% completion in its 3rd week.
We are with them from morning till evening. We work up to Sunday in order to meet up the time frame.
For now, we have finished more than 100 kilometers. And for the overlay, we have finished more than 50%. And for the badly damaged area, we have finished like 7%.
Motorists and other road users plying the road believe that the emergency
benefited from the health screening exercise comprising blood pressure checks, blood sugar checks, and eye-related issues such as cataracts and glaucoma. The program was extended to Holy Trinity as well as Police Children's Schools, where the Endowment of Children was conducted with a plan to be extended to other parts of the state. The wife of the president, represented by the wife of the Nasarawa State Governor, Mairotanko Almakura, who noted the role of the wife of the Kogi State Governor in complete effort of her husband, Yahaya Bello, towards the improvement of the health, education of their people.
Members of the newly inaugurated Nigeria Interfaith Dialogue Forum have been encouraged to hit the ground running with commitment and hard work for sustainable peace in the country. This came from the Sultan of Sokoto, Mohammed Saad Abubakar III, at the closing ceremony of the Interfaith Dialogue for Peace in Abuja. Lydia Bassi was there.
After a two-day session of intensive inclusive dialogue, which included inter- and intra-religious sessions, the participants came out with a Secretariat Executive Council comprising of committees saddled with the task of ensuring peace in the country. The Sultan of Sokoto urged that the Nigerian Interfaith Dialogue Forum be registered with Corporate Affairs Commission.
This body is not under CAN, it's not under Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs. Therefore, you don't need to get permission from CAN or from Supreme Council before you go out on your assignment. But as long as the two leaders are your patrons, when you do things right, we'll support you. When you do things wrong, we'll call you.
Members of the new forum were encouraged to make their activities known to Nigerians for its impact to be acknowledged.
Part of the challenge we have is when people tell half-truth or tell lies, it ignites crisis in our society.
So whether we are Muslims or Christians or Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, we should see ourselves as one people.
We are looking forward to see that all these challenges that we are facing at this very time, that with time, that they'll be phased out.
We have learned a lot and we are going to take it home to our brothers.
I must try all I could to leave a good legacy.
The forum has Bishop Sunday Onoha and Alhaji Kunle Sani as co-chairman. In Abuja, Lydia Bassi, NTA News.
Leaders in the country have been told to use their good offices in advancing justice and equitable distribution of resources. This was the message of Adam Ibrahim, the Education Secretary of the Shehu Shagari Islamic Center, after the Jumat prayers. Abdullahi Suleiman Iyaji reports.
The Imam's sermon, translated by Adam Ibrahim, focused on the need for the Muslim faithful to support leaders, as it is Almighty Allah who gives and takes power from whosoever he wishes, according to the Holy Quran, Surah Al-Imran, chapter 3, verse 26.
We are calling on Nigerians. We should be just in our ways. We should be just in our dealing with others. Then we should be just in what comes out from us toward our leaders.
In a similar vein, a non-governmental organization, the Buhari Friends Organization Network, was on hand to specially pray for the success of President Muhammadu Buhari and the peaceful coexistence of Nigeria.
We're here to pray for him, for the success of this government, for his good health and well-being.
Without prayer, no meaningful achievement can actually be recorded. And we are praying for peace to reign, because when there is peace, there will be meaningful development.
The Buhari Friends Organization Network also emphasized its commitment to good governance and nation building. In Abuja, Abdullahi Suleiman Iyaji, NTA News.
You're watching NTA Network News, and you can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with the iOS. And still to come, for the first time in 4 years, Adamawa State hosts orientation of National Youth Service Corps members. These and more when we come back.
From what we have seen, we have the capacity which we can rapidly develop or feed in ourselves. If we don't import rice, we stop importing corn and other grains, Nigeria will have plenty of money to invest into developing industries, especially manufacturing, textiles and so on, and develop iron and steel, and complement the infrastructure development. So really, the opportunities are virtually limitless, and we are very, very aware of this, and we are prepared to exploit it to the fullest.
The Tony Elumelu Foundation's $100 million entrepreneurship program is empowering Africa's next business leaders. 54 countries, 10,000 entrepreneurs. Become a Tony Elumelu entrepreneur. Apply now.
Hello? Welcome to the M6 Challenge. Using your new Gioni M6, carry out everything on that list. Starting now. Get to the door. Congratulations, you have passed the test.
Gioni M6 with a 5,000 milliampere battery that lets you go on for 2 days on a single charge.
Gioni M6, always in power.
The Future Assured project and its components Get Involved, initiated by the wife of the President, Her Excellency Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, is not relenting in championing the cause of Nigerian women and children. Its provision of free medical screening, educational support, and the fight against malnutrition, especially in the Northeast, has indeed informed international recognition, partnerships, and awards.
We are very grateful and appreciative for your wonderful gesture you have afforded to us.
With Future Assured, Nigerian women and children are assured of a bright future.
Future is assured when we join hands to promote the health of our women and children. Get involved.
Get involved and support the Future Assured initiative. Future Assured, promoting and protecting the lives of Nigerian women and children.
Introducing the new 5 Alive Pulpy Orange.
Where is the pulp? The pulp. Where is the pulp? Where is the pulp?
Taste the goodness of real orange pulp in every gulp.
Where is the pulp?
The new 5 Alive Pulpy Orange, now in your neighborhood.
The federal government's social investment program has begun. The poorest and most vulnerable in the land get 5,000 naira monthly, and phase 1 has started in 9 states of the federation. 200,000 unemployed graduates have been engaged in the NPower Volunteer Corps, designed to engage 500,000 people. 5.5 million children will be fed regularly in the homegrown school feeding program, which kicked off in 3 states last year, with 9 more to be added this year. And under the Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program, GEEP, thousands of cooperatives, market women, farmers, and enterprising youth have been receiving between 10,000 and 100,000 naira soft loans since November 2016. The Social Investment Program has begun. It can only get better. We promise change. Change is here.
I'm so proud my son is playing football in Europe. He's enjoying his success. But as his mother, I can see there's something he misses. This is his new home, but something is missing. I know what it is. He misses home, especially my cooking. So I brought improved meaty flavored Royco cubes all the way from Nigeria.
So this is where the meaty aroma is coming from. I miss you so much, Mama. It's even meatier than I remembered.
Royco, the great taste of home, now with an improved meaty flavor.
Glad to know you're still there watching the NTA Network News. We are reaching you from the nation's capital, Abuja. And for the first time in 4 years, Adamawa State is hosting the National Youth Service Orientation Camp. Governor of the state, Mohammed Umar Jubrila, who declared the camp open, assured of provision of adequate security. Rian Ubala has that report.
The 1,850 core members are undergoing their 3 weeks orientation camp at the Adamawa State Polytechnic Yola, with necessary facilities provided. Governor Muhammad Umar Jibrila, who declared the orientation camp open, said the state is now peaceful and calm, assuring core members of provision of security and their well-being. He urged them to take advantage of the opportunities that abound in the state and enhance their capacity for the development of the nation.
The Adamawa people, they are very hospitable people. Very, very hospitable. You will find here just like home. And I am sure by the time you finish your service, more than half of you will not even like to leave Adamawa State, because we had this experience before.
The NYC coordinator Adamawa State, Muhammad Abubakar, said the core members will be exposed to various training to prepare them in the tasks of nation building. The oath of allegiance was administered on the core members by the Chief Judge Adamawa State, Justice Ishaya Banu, signaling the full commencement of the orientation camp. In Yola, Rayanu Bala, NTA News.
The use of information communication technology, ICT, has been described as the bedrock for the development of many countries worldwide. Executive Vice Chairman, Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, made the observation at the 46th Convocation Lecture of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. James Opariculture has that report.
Delivering his paper entitled The Role of ICT Infrastructure in Tertiary Education in Nigeria, NCC Interventions, the erudite scholar said NCC has licensed several ICT infrastructure companies to provide broadband infrastructure and open up other spectrum resources to support broadband deployment for the 3G and 4G networks.
We have made our society to be an instant society. Whatever is going on now can be built anywhere in any part of this country and in any part of the globe.
The operations of the telecom companies, the NCC boss gave out useful information on how customers can sort out unsolicited text messages and calls. The Vice Chancellor of the University of Nigeria, Professor Chukwuma Ozumba, said information management has remained in the front burner of all nations, organizations, and every human endeavor, hence the choice of the topic.
The prevailing global challenges in today's information management and technology therefore informed our choice of the topic for this 46th Convocation Lecture.
Chairman of the occasion and President National Industrial Court of Nigeria, Justice Babatunde Adejumo, described the lecture as apt. In Enugu, James Opariculture, NTA News.
And turning to security, the Defense Headquarters has alerted members of the public on new tactics being adopted by female suicide bombers in carrying out their dastardly acts. A statement by the Acting Director, Defense Information, Brigadier General Rabi Abubakar, says female suicide bombers now carry babies on their backs, which ordinarily pass them for innocent nursing mothers as they evade security checks. The defense spokesman, however, appealed to members of the public to be patient and cooperate with the military and other security agencies while carrying out thorough search, as the essence is to prevent the murderous intentions of the insurgents. The public is also urged to volunteer useful information to security operatives so as to ensure a safe society. You're still watching NTA Network News. 2 armored jets have been impounded by the Nigerian Customs Service. Let's now cross over to Lagos with these and other stories as we join Ademola. Good evening, Ademola.
And warm welcome to Lagos. The Nigeria Customs Service Murtala Mohammed International Airport Command has impounded 2 armored helicopter jets brought into the country without due authorization. The 2 jets, with duty-paid value of over 9.7 billion naira, were handed over to the Nigeria Air Force to boost their military operations. Musa Toliat has the details.
The controller, Murtala Mohammed International Airport Command of the Nigeria Customs, Francis Alana, explained that the consignment was brought in, but upon examination, it was found to contain 2 armored helicopter jets in standard configuration and 23 packages containing their accessories with no end-user certificates.
The importer could not produce end user certificate as required by law from the Office of the National Security Advisor, an act which contravenes Section 36(2) of Customs and Excise Management Act, SEMA, LFM 2004.
Comptroller General of Customs, who was represented by Deputy Comptroller General Enforcement Dan Ugo, handed over the 2 jets to the Nigerian Air Force.
In the spirit of one government, where all agencies working towards the same goal, it is of benefit to the Air Force more than it is to us. The Comptroller General of Customs approved that they should be handed over to Nigeria. Nigerian Air Force is in the forefront of winning all forms of insurgency. With this aircraft being added to our fleet, it is certainly going to help us, to enhance our discharge of our responsibilities.
The Customs Command said investigations are still ongoing to get the details of the importers.
There is no face to these aircraft. For now, no. That will be made available to you because by the time we pick them up, the process can take place. They can still be taken to court, and evidence of condemnation from court can be used without necessarily having this as the exhibit. That will stand.
In Lagos, Musa Tonia, NTA News.
For small and medium enterprises to have a better understanding on the role of productivity improvement in furthering business growth, the National Productivity Center, in partnership with the Ministry of Economic Trade and Industry of Japan, organized a one-day seminar in Lagos. The aim is to acquire knowledge on various skills for productivity improvement. Ken Egbeluhe completes the story.
The issue of productivity and its growth is very important to any economy. This is because productivity is a major determinant of a well-being, overall quality of life, and its competitiveness. The seminar, therefore, is the end product of the Japanese Productivity Center project on technical cooperation for sub-Saharan Africa, which commenced in June 2016. The partnership is geared towards providing individual member countries with ways and means to increase productivity at company level. It is also applying tools to increase productivity by focusing on themes such as lean management system, green productivity, 5S, and Kaizen. The Director General, National Productivity Center, says companies in the country now embrace the consciousness.
You could see testimonies from those various companies how the applications of these basic productivity techniques have really improved their efficiency, has improved on their effectiveness. Continuous change is the most important thing. Yes, so mindset change or attitudinal change.
Having gone through this training, and I think we have now positioned ourselves for export of our goods.
The National Productivity Center is the apex agency of government charged with the responsibility of stimulating and promoting productivity growth in the Nigerian economy. In Lagos, Ken Igbeluge, NTA News.
And on business news, tackling the menace of multiple taxes on businesses is the focus of business news with Abdullahi Mohammed.
Good evening. You're on to business news, and thanks for being there. Multiple tax payments is said to be one of the major constraints of doing business in Nigeria. A 2014 report by the World Bank listed up to 47 tax payments made annually by companies in the country. The report also disclosed that a whopping 956 hours are wasted by companies in the process of paying taxes.
I'm asked to pay for my little small signage, no matter how small it is. I'm asked to pay for food permission to sell food.
These experts say can be effectively addressed if the various taxes are streamlined.
Every state is supposed to domesticate the content of Act number 21. That is, in every state, they're supposed to spell out those levies, fines, rates that they will be collecting, so that they are gazetted, and every taxpayer will know that when I come to this particular state, this will be the taxes I'll be paying.
The expert also suggests the establishment of more effective tax administration system.
The highest taxation organ in the country rests with the Federal Inland Revenue Service. And the chairman of Federal Inland Revenue Service is under the Minister of Finance. Minister of Finance is saddled with quite a lot of responsibilities. So it is when the minister has the time for the Federal Inland Revenue Service that she will listen to what the taxation is saying. Even in the National Assembly, taxation is subsumed under appropriation or under the Finance Committee.
That's business news. Thanks for being part of it. The news continues shortly.
You're still watching NTA Network News, reaching you live from Lagos Network Center. We now take a break for some messages, after which the news continues from Abuja. Stay with us.
5 Alive Poppy Orange.
Where is the pulp? The pulp. Where is the pulp? Where is the pulp?
Taste the goodness of real orange pulp in every gulp.
Where is the pulp?
The new 5 Alive Poppy Orange. Now in your neighborhood. To help people stop getting sick. People think it's the ever-changing weather during Hamatan that makes them sick. Actually, it's the germs. Dettol protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs, including flu.
Dettol, endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association.
Hello?
Welcome to the M6 Challenge. Using your new Gioni M6, carry out everything on that list. Starting now. Get to the door. Congratulations, you have passed the test. Gioni M6 with a 5,000 milliampere battery that lets you go on for 2 days on a single charge. Gioni M6, always in power.
Introducing the new 5 Alive Poppy Orange.
Where is the pulp? The pulp. Where is the pulp? Where is the pulp?
Taste the goodness of real orange pulp in every gulp.
Where is the pulp?
The new 5 Alive Poppy Orange. Now in your neighborhood.
Where is the pulp?
I'm so proud my son is playing football in Europe. He's enjoying his success. But as his mother, I can see there's something he misses. This is his new home, but something is missing. I know what it is. He misses home, especially my cooking. So I brought improved meaty flavored Royco cubes all the way from Nigeria.
So this is where the meaty aroma is coming from. I miss you so much, Mama. It's even meatier than I remember.
Royco, the great taste of home, now with an improved meaty flavor.
You're still watching the NTA Network News, and we're reaching you from the nation's capital, Abuja. The practical sea time experience training for cadets and graduates of marine engineering in Nigeria has been flagged off at One River State. Osinachi Samuel reports that 20 cadets are to benefit from the first batch of the program, sponsored by the Nigeria Ajib Exploration and Petroleum Technology Association of Nigeria.
The flag-off ceremony marks the beginning of a 36-month training for the youths in line with the in-country value addition of the Nigerian content development. Managing Director, Nigerian Ajib Exploration Limited, Massimo Insula, represented by the General Manager District, Marco Rotundi, said due to paucity of Nigerian mariners and seafarers, the company is dedicated to training young school leavers from its host communities to acquire skills and certification that will enable them gain employment at basic level position in the maritime industry.
By this flag-off today, a new chapter of hope has been opened in the life of the trainees that are here with.
In the 18 months, they will now get all the international certifications.
E&I will bear the responsibility.
The vessels providers urge the cadets to be focused and disciplined during the training period.
The formal education apart, where the real learning happens, is on the job. And that's where Petan is able to make a difference. It's not easy living on board or surviving on board. You say one hand for the ship and one for yourself.
And the number of people they are training at the go is quite massive. So I give kudos to Ajib for this.
And practical experience is very hard to come by, and sea experience will be very, very beneficial.
The Practical Sea Time Experience is an initiative jointly sponsored by the Nigerian Ajib Exploration and the Petroleum Technology Association of Nigeria, in line with the Nigerian Content Development. In One, Osinachi Samuel, NTA News.
And to ensure that telecommunication service consumers get quality service and value for money spent, timely and fair redress of complaints, as well as protection from unwholesome practices, service providers must be given priority by regulating the telecommunications industry. This formed the nucleus of the 24th edition of Consumer Town Hall meeting of the Nigerian Communications Commission held in Oye, Ekiti.
The program was one of the initiatives of the Nigerian Communications Commission to bring together telecom consumers with network operators and regulators to discuss and provide practicable solutions to consumer-related issues and ensure they have value for their money through effective service delivery.
Is to make sure that we educate and inform consumers of the benefit of their services in the rural community, so that everybody will be informed. And when you are knowledgeable about something, you'll be able to take very much advantage of it.
Various contributions and complaints from participants centered on the need for NCC to ensure the protection of telecom consumers from exploitation and empowering them to make rational and informed decisions about services.
Every provider, they are aware now that they are aware of their shortcomings.
The dissemination of facts and truth about the subject matter. If this information is not well channeled, people will now rely on rumor.
The team for the town hall meeting, Information and Education, as catalyst for consumer protection, was chosen by NCC to reflect that the rights of every telecoms consumer must be protected. In Ado Ekiti, Kola Adebobuyi, NTA News.
The Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria has announced an operating surplus of 2.7 billion naira for the year 2016, a super performance achieved for the first time since 1999. The acting managing director and chief executive officer of the bank, Richard Esin, confirmed this at the 2016 business performance and 2017 budget review sessions in Abuja. He said the bank's profitability is 50% higher than the 1.8 billion naira budget estimated for the year. Justin Bemui has the report.
It is a mortgage bank with a vision to operate as a viable, robust and dynamic mortgage institution, able to meet the challenges of developing the nation's housing industry. As the bank reviewed its 2016 business performance, it listed some of its achievements to include ability to create mortgages valued at 5.4 billion naira for 736 beneficiaries, clearing 60% of inherited backlog of 1,300. The bank is optimistic that the prospects for 2017 are bright, as policies and strategies are in place for it to move head-on in achieving set goals.
We just set a 4-point agenda to drive the bank's reinvention journey, namely corporate governance compliance, bank profitability, operational effectiveness, and debt recovery.
Along these lines, the bank is also looking at developing a customer service framework that will improve its activities in 3 core key areas.
Collection of contribution by NHM contributors, process of mortgage application, approval, disbursement, and management of repayment until exit, and then payment of reforms.
The sessions are aimed at strengthening synergies, operational deficiencies, and proper practical solutions to challenges faced at different levels of the bank's operations. In Abuja, Justin Bem-Unyi, NTA News.
And we take a pause for a short break. The news continues thereafter.
The production, distribution, and sale of counterfeit and fake drugs is a corrupt practice and a crime against humanity. This has informed several measures and strategies to combat fake drugs, including introduction of anti-counterfeiting cutting-edge technologies to detect fake drugs on the spot. These technologies are being deployed to all the states across the Federation, as well as the internally displaced people's camps. The President, Muhammadu Buhari, and his team are committed to this fight.
The federal government of Nigeria, in line with its anti-corruption agenda and posture, will fight a total war against fake drugs and other unwholesome regulated products in order to ensure that Nigerians remain healthy and well.
Lend your support and join NAFDAC to rid the country of fake drugs and unwholesome regulated products. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
Hear the call of change. Stand up, Nigeria. Change is here and it's going to stay. Change begins with you. Oh yeah, make we go. Go to so let the change begin from within. Look at you, oh Geruola. Change begins with you and me. Change begins with me. Change begins with me. Change begins with me.
You're still watching the NTA Network News, and we begin this segment on the global scene as we join Ogechi Paul.
Islamic militant group Al-Shabaab fighters have launched an attack on a Kenyan military base in southern Somalia. The Al-Qaeda-linked group says it killed over 50 soldiers and seized military vehicles and weapons. Kenyan military spokesman, however, said the attack was repelled with scores of casualties on the site of the insurgents. Meanwhile, British Prime Minister Theresa May is to hold talks face-to-face with U.S. President Donald Trump on NATO's future, as well as how to encompass Brexit, trade and security. The duo will spend an hour together in the first visit by a foreign leader to the White House. Mrs. May told U.S. Republicans that the UK and the U.S. would not return to what she described as failed military intervention to remake the world in their own image. That's Global Tidbit, Ogechi Paul, NTA News.
And Ayodeji Makinde is next on Sports Update.